Hello, assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. First and foremost, I want to say that I am not a tech reviewer in any shape or form. I am a beauty, teaching and lifestyle YouTuber, and the reason why I'm doing this video is because a few of my followers have asked me to share my thoughts on what the Fitbit Charge 3 is like. So if you want to find out from a novice, from someone who's never used this type of device before, how I'm getting on with it 4 months later, then keep watching. I'm going to be chatting to you about my Fitbit Charge 3. It looks like this. First of all, this comes with a blue strap, a blue silicone strap, and I really liked about it, and I got the rose gold one, is that you can change the straps over. You can buy them from the official Fitbit website, or you can go onto eBay like I did and choose a strap like this. So my strap is metal, it's magnetic, so you can easily adjust it. And a lot of you have been asking, is it comfortable? I will say at first I found that it did get a little bit too tight on my wrist, and sometimes it does get a bit tight. As you can see, it might leave a little bit of a mark, but I'm really used to it now. Like I said, I've been wearing this pretty much every single day for 4 months, so I love this strap. They have it in lots of different shades and it's very, very affordable. I'll leave the link to the strap that I picked up down below. Let's talk about the price. The Fitbit costs £120 currently as this video is being filmed. You might be watching in a few months when Black Friday started or the Christmas deals have started, and you might be able to buy it for a cheaper price, in which case, lucky you. I got this for my birthday from my parents, which was very kind of them. And they got it for me because they knew that I had been talking about trying to change my lifestyle a little bit, and I wasn't really sure where to start. There's so many apps out there, there's so many different ways you can do this. Sometimes, unless you are enlisting a professional to help you, it's very hard to choose a route and stick to it. Now, what I will say before I get into the specs and that sort of thing with the Fitbit is that for the first 3 months of using this, was kind of using this as a glorified pedometer and watch. The app, I would say, is very, very good. It's very useful. I use it every single day now, multiple times a day I'm clicking on the app. But when I first got the Fitbit, I was just using the app to do things like check my steps, change the watch face. So as you can see right now, I've got a round watch face, and then the seconds are being shown as they're going around the circle. I've also got the date on my watch face, so I've got September 23rd is the date this is being filmed, and on the top I've got the number of steps I've done for the day. So happy that in the last month, and it has been almost a month now, that I've decided to really utilize the Fitbit for what it's for and use it to really change my life around. And I've began this new fitness journey, this new healthy lifestyle journey, and the Fitbit's been a fundamental part of that because it's helped me in terms of knowing how much activity I'm doing, in terms of knowing how many calories my body is naturally burning and how many calories my body is then burning with the extra activity, and it's also helped me with my diet so much. So let's get into the review a bit more. Like I said, I'm a complete novice to the Fitbit. I've never owned something like this. I've seen them before, and I know that there's different devices. Cool thing is, as you put your wrist up, the screen lights up. You don't have to click on the button usually or click on the screen. But I like to just be able to look at my wrist, check the time, check my steps, just check that basic information really quickly, literally in 3 seconds. So if I swipe up on my Fitbit, let's just go through the Fitbit functions and then we'll talk about the app. So if you swipe up, first thing you see is the amount of charge that there is. And this is something I absolutely adore about the Fitbit Charge 3. The battery life is amazing. It lasts for a good week, if not 8 to 9 days I can stretch it to. And this kind of doesn't come off my wrist unless it has to be charged, and the charging time is really quick. In fact, this lasted so long that in between moving from the apartment to going for traveling for a bit and everything, I actually ended up losing the charger. The charger that it comes with is quite short, and it's just like a standard USB charger on one side, and it clips into the Fitbit. and I lost the charger. So the good news is you can buy replacement chargers. I picked up a pack of 2 which have a longer wire. Again, I'll link them down below if you're interested. And now I always have one, you know, to hand if I need it. But the battery life's amazing. The last thing you want in like a sort of fitness sports type of watch is something that you have to charge every single night, or something you have to keep thinking, oh no, I hope the battery doesn't run out while I'm doing this exercise. The battery life is brilliant, and I would definitely give it like 5 stars just for that alone. Then you can see your steps, and then there's a little dial, and it shows how many hours out of how many hours you choose that you have been active enough. Now the standard amount of being active enough is doing 250 steps per hour, and it does count that. And what I like about the Fitbit is that at 10 to every single hour that you choose for this to happen, it will remind you of how many steps you need to do if you've not reached your 250 step goal. So a lot of times, like, oh, it's a slight little vibration in your wrist. You're like, okay, right, let me get up, let me do this, let me just move around for a bit and hit that goal. It's just a little thing that doesn't take much time at all, but it just encourages you to just be a bit more active and to move around. And that's kind of the point of this, is to help you to make little changes in your life to have a better life in the end. It then shows your heartbeat currently. So it is a heart rate monitor, and it shows your current heart rate, and then it shows your resting heart rate as well. And then it's got a little location symbol, and it tells you how many kilometers you've walked so far today. So like I said, I've only done like around 2,000 steps. That's 1.88 kilometers. And then it actually tells you how many calories you have burnt today. I'll talk about this more in my health and fitness video, but in terms of being in calorie deficit, this has been a total game changer for me. It's been amazing. But like I said, stay tuned for the next video if you want to hear more about that. And then it shows a little symbol that shows stairs. It shows how many stairs you've done, how many flights of steps, and I've done 0 today. I've just been downstairs. Now if I click back onto the side button, and there is only one button on this Fitbit, which I like, you can just use a touchscreen and the one button. The side button will get you back to the home screen. Now if I swipe to the right, this is where you get different functions. So the top one, it says exercise, and if you click on that, there's five or six different options you can choose from. So if you're going on a run, you can click on that, and then it will start tracking. If you're going on a bike ride, you can click on that, and again it will track you. It will track you swimming, it will track you on the treadmill, it will track you doing weights, and it will also be an interval timer if you need it to be. Now the good thing about this is that if you are doing these exercises and you remember, which is one thing I will say, is that I keep forgetting sometimes to click on it before I, get into my working out. But if you do remember, it will start measuring how your body's reacting to the exercise, how much percentage of your fat's been burnt, which is so satisfying to see afterwards, how many calories you've burnt in that time, and your heart rate as well. So over time, it's tracking how much fitter you're becoming. I was doing an aerobic workout, a HIIT workout, and I forgot to track it, and the good thing was that it automatically did it for me once. It doesn't always do that. I'm not going to say it's like this amazing thing that constantly tracks exactly what you do. It doesn't, I'm afraid, but it did at that point, and I was so happy because I could see the exact stats to, how much had worked out, and I found that really helpful. Underneath exercise, it says relax, and this is quite a cool function. It's kind of a mindfulness function where you can set the time to how much you want it to. There's 2 minutes and 5 minutes, and then if you press play, it will give you instructions. So it says be still, take slow deep breaths. And for that mental break, for that mindfulness break, it's a really good little tool, and I don't really think that this part is spoken about enough. When you hear about Fitbits, they don't really talk about that side. But yes, exercising is really important, yes, eating right is really important, but so is taking time to just be, and just to be zen and relax. So I think that's awesome. Then if we swipe again, you've got timers up there, and then you've got alarms. Timers I found really helpful, especially when I was teaching, and I would say, right everyone, you've got 1 minute to get this classroom tidy. I'd put the timer on, and then it'd just be on my wrist, and it would just start vibrating when the time was up. If you're like cooking, you can put the timer on quickly, and it's just on your wrist. The alarm I used to use a lot when I first got it, but I haven't been using it that much. But basically, if you set the alarm on here, your wrist will just vibrate a lot in the morning when it's time to get up. Then if we swipe right again, there's a weather function and then there's a setting function as well. And you can choose the brightness, you can choose how strong you want the vibrations. I kind of tend to have mine on normal. And then if we swipe down on the watch, this is the cool bit. So although Fitbit is not associated with Apple, and obviously Apple have their own version, so iOS is not fully compatible, the cool thing is you can set it up so that your phone will send notifications to your watch. So when I'm getting a phone call, my wrist will start vibrating and I'll see like incoming call from mum or incoming call from Mukar. And then if I get like a text message, not a WhatsApp but a text message, I will get a notification on here as well. So it's a really good way of kind of being able to keep track of your life without having your phone in your hand all the time. And that's one thing I've noticed, is that since I've had this Fitbit and I've been using it properly, I'm not always on my phone thinking, oh right, I need to make sure that I'm checking for this, or I need to, you know when you go on your phone and you end up wasting so much time. That's not the case with the Fitbit, because any important notifications, if there was a really important phone call, it'd come here. If there was oh, I need you to pick me up from here, I'd see it here and then I'd go to my phone. So I've just been finding that I've been leaving my phone to the side a lot more. Those are the things that I didn't really think would even be a factor in owning a Fitbit. I didn't think it would help me to be more productive. I didn't think it would have these extra little small tools that actually do go a long way. Now I've had it for 4 months. I cannot imagine my life without it. It's such a useful tool. Now the rest of this video is going to be talking about the app. So if you were just here to know whether I thought the Fitbit was worth it or not, the answer is yes, it 100% is. If I lost it tomorrow, or like God forbid it was stolen tomorrow, or anything like that, I would buy it again in a heartbeat. I think it's 100% worth the money. It's waterproof as well, by the way, up to 50 meters. So even in the shower, you don't have to take it off. When you have a bath, you don't have to take it off. I love the feeling of like going for walks, or even just going shopping and seeing how many steps I've done. It's just so satisfying and rewarding to know that like I'm trying to get towards my target. I'm working out more now, and I'm just trying to take like little steps to increase my fitness. So basically the Fitbit is 100% beneficial. I love the way this strap looks. I think it looks so stylish. It matches my gold jewelry as well, and I just think it looks so sleek. I prefer this over the Versa, because the Versa looks a bit more like an Apple smartwatch, and that does have other functions as well. It's got a colourful screen, you can view workouts on there as well, but personally for me, this does everything that I need and more. I wouldn't spend double the money just to get like a square, bigger screen in the colour, and I'm sure there's other advantages. I think that might have GPS in it as well, the Versa, whereas the Charge 3 doesn't have GPS. But for me, it does everything I need and more, and I don't think I would be this motivated to continue with my fitness journey if I didn't own this. So definitely I do recommend it. Okay, let's talk about the app. So I am going to screen record this part, so as I'm talking you guys can watch along what I'm doing as well. The first thing I've seen, okay, so it's not refreshed, so it's going to sync and refresh now. As you can see, it's doing that automatically. I'm not having to click that. So the first thing I can see is that it's giving me a little tip, and sometimes it does this, it gives you top tips. So today's one is about your heart health. You can edit how your dashboard looks to see if like whatever you find most important, you can have as displayed at the top. Then it says track your exercise. Today is Monday, so I've still got 4 days left this week, and I'm on a recovery day, but tomorrow I will be exercising, so on there it will have my exercise information. If I click on track your exercise, last week I did 3 out of 4 days, and then the week before that I did 4 out of 4 days, and as you can see on my screen, everything that I've done, it's showing me like approximately how many calories I've burnt. The aerobic workout on the 12th of September, I burnt 94 calories and 82% fat burn. And then you can even click further into that and get more information. Go back here. Then we've got the Apple. And this, like I said again, I'm going to talk about this more in my fitness video, but this is basically what I'm using all the time, several times a day, to track my food. So if I click onto this, today it says I am under target. I have lost 1,315 calories, and I've only taken 191. Now that's because I've just had breakfast at the moment. But what I love about this is that you can, first of all, obviously track your food. So I can go back and see what I've been eating before. And then I can also see, just under where it says today, macronutrients. This is fantastic. It shows me how many carbs I've been eating, how much fat I've been eating, how much protein I've been eating. What's really helpful with this app is you can really see that how the types of foods that you're eating are actually broken down into what your body needs. If you press plus here, you can log your food, so you get your frequent food, the recent food, and then custom food. So in my custom food, I've got chicken wraps, which is my mum's recipe, homemade lasagna, which is mum's recipe again, and then there's a few other things here, bindia as well. So first of all, a lot of the food that I tend to eat in my diet is not that accurate on here, which is a bit frustrating, but I can't really expect otherwise because it's not been made by like people who have an Asian diet. And secondly, so what you can do is, so you can scan a barcode here like you could do on MyFitnessPal, but I find that a lot of the times, like 8 times out of 10, it won't recognize the barcode, which is a bit frustrating. So what I tend to do is I tend to click on search, and then you can search for the food that you want. So for example, if we just type in Pepsi, and then it comes up with the most popular in all of them, and you choose which one you want. Now sometimes you get really random things, like I've typed in Pepsi and Pepsi Max has come up first, but then underneath that it says poppy seed cake without icing. Bit random, but you can click on that, and then a blueberry muffin. Now what I like about this is if it goes to all, it's got different brands here. So you've got Marks & Spencer's, Tesco, Sainsbury's, let's say Tesco blueberry muffin. And then the cool thing is here you can click on nutrition facts and it will tell you exactly what is in that one blueberry muffin. So in one blueberry muffin from Tesco's you get 16.8 grams of fat. So that's one serving, which is 360 calories. So what I like is you can go into serving and then you can go to 0, and if you just want to eat half that muffin for today, that's 175 calories in, and you can press save. So you can be quite accurate with the food that you're eating. What I was saying about having a different type of diet or having a diet that's a bit more varied than the options that they give you is that sometimes you do have to add custom food. And I'd only do it for foods that I know I'm going to be making again, like chicken wraps I'm definitely going to be making. I really want to be making homemade lasagna. I love those types of food. I wouldn't do custom food for every single meal I eat because I don't think it's necessarily that important. And the thing is, if you're in a rush, you don't want to have to go through all that. What you can do is go onto Google and then type in, I don't know, like chickpea handi calories, and it will tell you the amount of calories that's approximate for that handi. And then you can, there's a little numbers section here, click on that and you can literally just add the calories in. So you're technically still counting your calories, but the downside to that is you're not knowing what nutrients, what part of that is protein, what part of that is fat, is going into your diet. So at the moment in my life currently, I've got more time, so I can afford to do that. When I know I'm going to go back to full-time work, I'm not going to have as much time, but hopefully by that time I'll have already added my custom foods and I'll be a bit more used to it, so hopefully it will just be a quicker process. I think when you first start with the calorie counting side of things, it does take longer, but it does get easier. The next section is how many hours of the day you've been keeping to your 250 steps. And then there's a logging water section. And then if we go down, there's more functions here. So this one is a little bit more personal, but it's I really think it's important as a woman to track your menstrual cycle. So that's on there. And then there's also weight and your sleep score and your resting heart rate. So I'm not going to go into the weights or the other one. Now you can compare today's to yesterday's, the day before that, the day before that, over there. And then you can go to discover as well. There's also a section that says guided programs, and that's very similar to what I'm doing, but it's a paid version. It's like a Fitbit coach. I considered it, it's a monthly subscription service, but honestly I think that if you're buying a Fitbit that's £120, I feel like they should have included that with it. I don't think that they should try to make more money off consumers in that sense when there's other apps out there that are doing the exact same thing, if not better, for free. So I am not going to be buying into the coach section. And then there's a community tab as well, and here you can join the Fitbit community. So if your friends are on Fitbit, you can find them and you can like challenge them to like how many steps can you walk today, and make it a bit of a competition. Or you can join community groups. Like here we've got snacking tips. There's 2.4 million members on there. Basically you can just share pictures of your snacks. You can, like, people are sharing like their weight loss journey so far. The other thing is Fitbit does send you badges, which I think is really cool. So like at first, when you first get your Fitbit, you're going to get loads of badges. You can set your activity goals. So steps, I've set to 8,000 steps a day. Distance is 8.5 kilometers. I've got a lot of walking to do clearly. Typically the calories burned, it should be, sorry, my camera decided to stop recording there. I'm not sure where it stopped, but basically I was just changing my exercise goals a little bit to make it recognize it quicker, because it does have the ability to auto recognize, and like I said, we're all human. Sometimes we forget to track it on this thing, and it's nice for it to be tracked. There are other apps as well, so you can click on compatible apps, go onto their website, and then these are all the apps that you could download if you wanted to. Basically that is it. So the app is super helpful. It's literally one of my most used apps now, every single day, and the actual device is brilliant. I wish I was using it more to my advantage when I first got it. Now I'm definitely using it to the best of my ability, and I'm really getting the most out of it, and so I do think it is worth it. If you're looking for something similar, if you're looking to make a lifestyle change, if you're someone who is motivated by stats and numbers, seeing something in front of you is like showing progress, if that helps you, then I think it's a great investment. I hope that this video was helpful. I know it was quite a long one, but I know that a lot of you guys are curious about it and you wanting to know my opinion. And if you're new here, like I said, I'm not going to be doing many tech videos, but you might want to check out some of my other videos and stick around. And even if you don't want to, then just give us a thumbs up before you leave. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!